I'm bquipd, and this is Clear Frontier. Let's break down how to do this jungle clear. But first, a brief preamble. Check out the subreddit at r/clearfrontier and be part of a community of jungle clear speedrunners. Also, you can visit r/bettermeta to be a meta pioneer. Additionally, playlists are the best way to interact with my channel, as the videos in them will be swapped out and kept up to date. Check the video description or go to the playlist tab on my channel to find them. Let's address the elephant in the room. How did I manage to leash the jungle monsters like that without resetting them? Now, I'm not the first to do this clear on YouTube, but I found that other demonstrations and guides on how to do this wolf start fiddlesticks clear seem to rely on intuition and feel, and even high elo fiddlesticks mains don't seem to be able to do this consistently. I'm going to give you a step-by-step on exactly how to do this, down to the exact locations where you have to stand. But first, runes. They barely matter actually. You just need to make sure you run double adaptive force. You don't even have to run armor if you don't want to, because if you do this clear right, you end at full HP, and so you can run MR against AP matchups if you would like. Running armor does allow you to mess up and be fine though, or it allows you to rank up your Q at level 3 instead of putting a second point in your W if you'd like to gank early, or if you need to repel and invade, so armor is usually your best bet overall. You can run Cosmic Insight for 5% CDR, but I've tested it and it doesn't really increase your clear speed at all, especially since this clear focuses on optimizing 3 auto attacks between your W casts, so extra CDR doesn't actually help a lot. It's the same with Absolute Focus. Even though you can constantly have the bonus AP active, it isn't high enough early to affect your first clear whatsoever, and it doesn't reduce any auto attack thresholds on any early camps. Finally, I wanted to address Nimbus Cloak. Since the clear by the YouTuber Philaris uses Smite at the end of Gromp to gain move speed towards Raptors, this is actually not optimal, as smiting Gromp early rather than late makes you have to auto attack it less, since your W does % missing HP damage, so chunking the Gromp early with Smite is much better. All of those are fantastic on Fiddlesticks of course, but the point is that he has incredibly flexible runes. You can run almost any runes you want depending on your playstyle, since your early clear is almost completely unaffected by them. We start at Wolves because they spawn at the same time as Blue, at 1 minute and 30 seconds. Gromp and Krug spawn later at 1 minute and 42 seconds, so relying on them for your first double camp clear is generally inefficient. Basic attack the big wolf twice, kiting it towards Blue. It is important you basic attack twice here, and only on the big wolf, if you want maximum efficiency. On the blue team, you want to click this very specific spot on the wall, just to the right of this split, where the shading of the rock becomes dark. You have a little bit of leniency to the left or the right. This allows you to reach Blue with your W. On the red team, you want to click just beyond the end of this pointy grey stone in the ground, and it's a bit less lenient. Now, the next part is important to do quickly. When jungle monsters are damaged, they path towards you. If you are beyond a certain pathing distance from their initial spawn location, they immediately begin to lose patience. Monsters will account for the distance they have to travel around a wall in order to reach you in this equation of pathing. This is happening to both Blue and Wolves simultaneously while you are using your first W. As soon as your W finishes, you want to immediately reduce the pathing distance of both camps to within their predetermined threshold, which will make them both stop losing patience as soon as this criteria is met. Take care to not cancel your W and put it on full cooldown. It is easy to do so, and the sound effect is a bit unreliable, so wait for the channeling word above your head to disappear if you're in doubt. On the blue team, if we move to the left and click this very specific spot where there is a slight notch in the grass, you will fulfill the pathing distance criteria of both Wolves and Blue. On the red team, you want to click below the jagged grey stone in the ground, right where there is a small lump and some creases in the grassy earth, and this is less lenient also. From here, basic attack the big wolf twice again, and channel W again. This next bit is important if you're going for maximum efficiency, but if you're starting out, you can take it slowly. As soon as your W finishes channeling, which you can tell when the channeling word disappears from above your head, click the big wolf. Your W actually has a very long backswing animation if you don't cancel it with another command, but be careful not to cancel it early or the cooldown won't be lowered and you'll set your clear back really badly. You can just about fit 3 basic attacks between uses of a rank 1 W if you correctly use animation cancelling. Your first basic attack should be on the big wolf, your second on the blue buff, which will help you clear it faster later, and your third basic attack should be on the big wolf again. Doing this spaces out your hunter's talisman burn. You can cancel the backswing of your third basic attack with W, but make sure it lands first. I recommend enabling damage numbers in your settings, as this makes it easier to tell when you've dealt damage with your basic attack. After your W finishes channeling again, you should rank up your E and walk immediately towards Gromp. If you've done everything correctly, the big wolf should die to your hunter's talisman burn right as you start walking. If you're not sure if it will die, feel free to basic attack the big wolf one more time to be safe, as losing a second of time is better than resetting the whole wolf camp. But if you do it right, it should die. Use your E on the Gromp, smite it immediately, and then cast W right after. Using smite early lowers the Gromp's HP right off the bat, so that last % missing HP tick of damage on your W will deal extra damage to it. Using the same animation cancelling technique as before, you want to basic attack the Gromp first, then blue buff second, and Gromp again third. Try to kite upwards as you do this, as you'll save HP. Keep in mind that the blue buff has a longer leash range than Gromp, so stay more towards the Gromp's side so you don't reset it as you kite. You could be sloppy with this, sure, as you'll regain that HP back when you go to your red side jungle with a rank 2 W with excess healing. However, having more HP protects you against invades and also gives you the flexibility to gank at level 3 should you decide to level Q instead and not go to your red side right away. At this point, cast W, cancelling the backswing of your last basic attack, and this should kill the blue buff if you did everything right. If it's still alive, it's not the end of the world, but you'll take slightly more damage than you need to. You now want to cast 2 basic attacks, 1 E, and 1 last W on the Gromp to finish it off. You can actually animation cancel your E if you buffer any command during its animation, so this is a fantastically simple technique to use that can heavily optimize your clear. Try to kite backwards as you do this, but be careful not to reset the Gromp, as it has quite a short leash distance. If you did this all perfectly, you just cleared 3 camps in 35 seconds, and are now level 3. I don't think any other champion can hit level 3 that fast, and you could feasibly counter jungle the enemy if you know they started on the opposite side of the map. You can also level Q here and try to gank, but if you want to full clear, put a second point in your W, as this will accelerate your clear speed immensely. Go behind the wolf camp and take the blast cone for extra speed. Now, you want to cast your E on red buff, but since you probably don't have vision, you can use the marks on the terrain to help you. On the blue team, you want to hover your cursor over the nearest point of the 3 claw marks on the ground, like so. On the red team, your cursor should hover over this crooked corner of this crack in the ground. Right after your E begins to cast, you can animation cancel by clicking on the smallest nearest raptor to aggro the camp. After you've basic attacked the raptor, you have to be quick again, and make sure you click on a very specific spot so you don't reset the patience of any camps. On the blue team, there is a triangular tooth-shaped stone in the ground with 3 triangular faces. You want to click the center point of the longest line between the 2 longest faces, right here. On the red team, it's easier, as you just have to click directly in the center of this grassy shrub next to the wall. Wait at that spot until red buff comes around the corner, and then basic attack it once, then immediately channel W. After that, basic attack the big raptor twice, use E on the big raptor, and then buffer your W again. Now, from here, you want to basic attack the red buff twice as you kite it towards Krugs. Then use W, then basic attack and kite 2 more times, then use W once more and it should be dead. Remember to cancel the backswing of your W and basic attacks with movement commands if you want to maximize your distance travel towards Krugs. Using your E perpendicular to Krugs, directly in the center of the camp, is the easiest way to consistently hit them both with it. but hitting the big Krug is the only thing that really matters, since the medium Krug will die from your W casts alone anyway. Cast W when the big Krug is in range, then animation cancel your W into 3 basic attacks on the big Krug. After those 3 attacks, W again, and the big Krug should die. Basic attack each of the 2 medium Krugs that it splits into, and then hit them both with E, then use W to finish them off. Walk towards the Tri-Brush, and then finish the 4 lesser Krugs with one final W as they follow you, but don't leash them too far or they'll reset. You could also skip the 4 lesser Krugs if you want to rush into a gank or get to the Scuttle Crab even earlier, as you're already level 4 without them, although this might slow down your level 6 rush. It could be worth it if it means a guaranteed Scuttle though. Finally, we'll go over the Scuttle Crab one-shot combo with Smite. If you are out of combat, your E actually fears monsters 100% of the time, even if you're right in front of them in vision. Walk right up to it, use E to fear, Q it for double damage, basic attack it once, smite it, and then use W. This should one-shot the Scuttle. Immobilizing effects like your fear make Scuttle Crab take bonus damage during the CC duration on top of the reduced resistances, and this includes true damage, which means Smite does bonus damage too. This is the only case in the game where true damage is increased. Doing all this damage up front also means your W deals more % missing HP damage. Some other facts. Even if you haven't leveled up your Q for the Fear passive on your other abilities, perhaps because you're level 3 with 2 points in your W, or perhaps you're in combat and can't make use of the Fear passive on your E, then don't worry. The silence on your E still removes Scuttle Crab's bonus resistances. However, it doesn't increase the damage dealt to it while silenced like your Fear does though, but it's better than nothing when you need it.